president has a big legislative priority that they want to get done in their first year. The first year is always the pivotal time where you can push big pieces of legislation forward. And regardless of party or ideology or the merits of the ideas, the basic question that drives it for every single one of them is typically pretty simple. What's the problem you want to solve?
Every president comes into office with a plan, a first-year agenda, a bold move. Obama had the Recovery Act. Biden had COVID relief. But with Trump, things were different. His big ugly bill just passed. And the real question is, what problem was this bill trying to solve?
It's pretty clear to me that the problem they were seeking to address is, I guess, that the wealthy in this country have too little and they pay too much in taxes and the poor have too much. It's the only thing that makes sense.
Exactly. What problem? Because when you look at Trump's bill, it doesn't fix healthcare. It doesn't build infrastructure. It doesn't fight inflation. Instead, it does something else entirely. It makes the rich even richer.
A populist doesn't kick 17 million people off their healthcare coverage. Populist doesn't take food stamps away from millions of people. Populist doesn't fund a massive immigration enforcement army with a budget bigger than many of the world's militaries. And a populist definitely doesn't do all of that while also giving over $4 trillion in tax cuts to corporations and the wealthiest people in the entire country.
And the numbers don't lie. 17 million people kicked off health care, food stamps slashed, Medicaid gutted, and in return, over $4 trillion in tax cuts for corporations and billionaires.
Trump made huge electoral gains in counties with lots of voters on Medicaid, probably in part because he explicitly pledged never to cut Medicaid. Well, he just broke that promise to all those voters. And some of them don't even know it yet. Some of them still have no idea what Trump and Republicans in Congress have just done.
Trump called himself a populist. He said he'd never touch Medicaid. He said he was fighting for the forgotten Americans. But the bill he just passed hits those very people the hardest.
People voiced their frustration with President Donald Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill.
Say Medicaid!
Loud and clear across the street from their congressman's office.
Dozens gathered outside Representative David Valadeo's office. Their message to the congressman: vote no on what the protesters called deadly cuts to health care.
Protesters tonight on Dodge Street pleading for Nebraska's representatives to have a change of heart. Frustration mounts as a massive federal budget bill hits the House floor.
In congressional districts all across Georgia Tuesday, constituents demonstrated against President Trump's spending bill.
The organization of Monday's Stop the Billionaire giveaway bus tour says those in favor of this bill aren't looking at its harmful effects to the greater population, such as Medicaid restrictions, food assistance, and rollback tax credits on clean energy.
Everything you just saw, that package of protests across the country from all over the place, is just from the past 3 days. And there were more. Protesters showed up in Tucson outside the office of Republican Congressman Juan Kiscomani and outside Republican Congresswoman Young Kim's office in Anaheim. In Staten Island, protesters held what they called a die-in, that's what they called it, outside the offices of Republican Congresswoman Nicole Maliotakis.
So how are people reacting? They're hitting the streets. From Nebraska to Staten Island, Americans are protesting this bill because they know what's coming.
What we are seeing now is the beginning, just the beginning, of an effort to make sure every Republican who voted for this owns that vote. And it's not going to take one speech, even a good one, or one protest. It's not going to happen in one day or 1 week or even 1 month. That effort will need to be absolutely relentless and specifically tied to the impact this bill has on the people those Republicans represent.
This isn't just backlash. It's the beginning of a movement, a national reckoning. Because this bill may have passed, but its impact is just beginning. And every single lawmaker who backed it will be held accountable. Trump promised to fight for working Americans, but his big ugly bill just proved the opposite. This wasn't about helping the people. It was about rewarding the powerful and leaving millions behind.